Hold on to your hand grenades, folks. Get ready for one atomic bomb of a bitch session. You're watching the Peter G Show.
Peter G Show.
Hey, everybody, it's that time again.
Yes, it is. Now that you mention
oh,
it.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's been a crazy week as usual.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's been another week.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in,
thanks
people.
a lot. No, we want to thank everybody for once again tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm still getting a lot of letters. Oh, speaking of which, do you remember back a while ago we did a show called Prior Damage?
Yes.
We got a letter from a girl named Tammy. Remember it was
we had a
kind
few
of,
Tammys.
Well,
right?
no, yeah, but this was a really probably one of the craziest letters that I've read. And
Is that the one from Kentucky or what?
it's South Carolina, I believe.
Close?
No joke. But I recently reached out to her. I wanted to know how she's doing. Remember, she was having trouble, and then unfortunately, she's telling me not much has changed, and that's been quite a while since we did that story. And I didn't know what to tell her. I just reached out. I said, "There's got to be help for you out there. I mean, you're still living in a bad situation with an alcoholic husband and all that kind of stuff."
She should leave.
Yeah,
she should get out of that.
I
But
know,
it's not that easy.
I
get
know.
that,
Yeah, damn
but
right, it's not that easy. But I didn't know what to tell her because I was really hoping to hear something. Yeah, I got some help. I mean, because she doesn't have any money. Neither do I.
She's still watching our show and listening to
She's
us?
listening to our show.
Yeah.
So Tammy, our hearts go out to you. I don't know. I still say there's got to be organizations out there that help and do that kind of stuff. You just need to keep digging. Somebody, churches, anything.
We sent him a lot of those options at that time.
Well, we told her a lot about those options. But again, you can only do so much. We're just a bunch of knuckleheads,
Well, I feel terrible right now, so thank you.
Okay, so anyway, a lot of good stuff, thanks for the YouTubers and all that stuff. We're really doing well with that, and little by little, and I'm getting a few comments here and there. But either way.
24 countries. I never would have thought that in my life.
How many?
24, right?
No, there's more than that. Dude.
Is more than that?
Listen, when it comes to statistics, let's just quit counting the numbers. I can't.
Really? We have more than 24?
Yeah.
He's shaking his head. The director doesn't like to talk a lot.
He's not.
Oh, he talks a lot when we're off.
Yes,
you can
he tells
do
you
that.
to shut the hell up.
Wow. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And as we always say, we thank God above and whatever else.
Yeah, for a bunch of babbling idiots,
that's all
we're
we
doing
got.
okay. We're doing all right.
got.
There's a little bit of sense in there, people. And the Angry Garage stuff has been just booming. I mean, people just like seeing us bitch about stuff. I'm finding out, it's like, okay,
I laugh at your great.
there's a moral behind the stories. I mean, there really is. But the Angry Garage, I never,
Yours are long.
They are. I have a lot to bitch about. That's why.
Yeah.
And
a lot of hand facing. Yeah.
I'm Greek. Yeah. Next is a puppet show.
No, they do like him, so that's great.
So because we really filmed all those things back a while ago and then waited to release them, and now we're I don't even know if we're going to continually do them. Release the bitching.
Them.
So, but
That's
it's been working, and thank you, people, and we're deeply appreciative of letting us be. So, without ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you my friend and our guest, Chris Brown.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hey, man.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right.
So now this is what I get. Now look at Chris. Now
Yeah.
now obviously you and Jim work out.
So we're talking about training partners.
Partners, yeah.
Near future.
Now when I first saw Chris, the first time I saw him, I'm going, holy crap, because he had a tank
get
top
excited?
on. No, I wasn't excited. Ooh la la.
I heard a kind of thing. I don't know.
So I'm number one. How many years did all that ink take to go on? You're tattooed like from top to bottom almost.
That's some good ink.
I have a good bit. There's a very few spaces left.
Can you give me an idea of because here's the problem. I got no problem with them. I just would never get a single tattoo because I never knew what I wanted.
Right.
But yet it seems like you got the world atlas on you.
Yeah, I about 10 years ago, I decided that, and this is when it all started, and I'm 44 now, and so I didn't start until in my late 30s, mid 30s, and I just committed. I thought about something that I can create myself, and I can have an artist put it on skin. So I did the left side in 4 sittings. So it was quite some time in the chair, but but yeah, I designed it myself and did my entire left side.
I mean, you're just, and it's not color; it's all green,
all black and
black.
gray.
Yeah. I mean, and on top of that, you're obviously you do friggin' work out. Because when I called him to try and firm up this show date. He's like, well, I'm in training right now. I'll get back to you. It's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too. 12-ounce training.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, I go, holy shit, when did you get out?
Because that's probably the
I mean,
the normal
let's face it, you got a badass look to you. I mean,
and I appreciate that.
In both ways, like you could be scary if you want to be,
right?
But you're well taken care of and all that. But you take that freaking shirt off. I mean, he's the bulk, the incredible bulk.
Yeah.
But yet we talked. I don't know how we met, and we talked real quick. But then I find out he's got a little bitty girl, a little daughter.
Yeah,
and her birthday's the same date as Anna, so that even struck me even more.
The same day?
Yeah, easy to remember.
Yeah. But she's 5 now.
She's 5 now. She'll be 6.
Okay, December.
December.
Yeah. So. The thing was, so then we started talking, and he's like, I'm divorced, you're divorced, so go. But the thing is, you live here in California.
I do.
But
now,
your daughter's in?
My daughter is in Las Vegas, Nevada.
How do you do it?
So it was an extremely tough decision. I got a divorce about 6 years ago and stuck it out I have a business in Las Vegas and was looking to venture out in the LA area. So going through this whole transition with, custody and business and, continuing to have the money going and flowing, I thought it might be in my best interest to venture out to the LA area, which my decision would be to not leave my daughter at home, but or in Las Vegas, but to venture out to LA. But I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to lose that time with my daughter. So for me, it was a big decision, but at the same time, probably, one of the best decisions I've made.
And how do you juggle it?
Yeah, that's tough. And more so now than it had been previously. Prior to my daughter actually starting school full time, we would do a 50-50. We would split week on, week off.
That's what we did.
Yeah. And so you completely
We thought we
understand.
created that, but yeah.
It's a difficult thing when you're living close, but when you're 5 hours away, it makes things extremely challenging. So I had to kind of manipulate my schedule to accommodate. And because I was the one that moved, I was the one that was going to do the driving. So every other week, I would get in my car, leave at 4 a.m. to avoid the LA traffic, and head out to Las Vegas, pick my little girl up. We'd have lunch and make a nice little trip back to LA. If she needed to stop, of course, we'd, whatever it took to make her comfortable.
That's better than me.
It was difficult. Yeah. It was difficult.
I drive 92 miles a day to get my son to school.
Wow.
Every day. Because it's 26 miles. I have to drive up to the school, drop him off.
You're doing it
then I have to
every
go
day.
back to either my house
Yeah.
or try to get a new job in that area. Got to go back him and come back. So it's always 91 to 95 miles a day.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, that's it's because Pete mentioned you and when he was telling me your story, very similar.
Right.
Were you a single dad after that? You had the 50-50 thing, right?
I did have the 50-50.
Ours was we had the 50. I had a daughter too.
Yes.
So I had a daughter on the first week, and then my son the next. We flip-flop them.
Okay.
On the third one, I'd get both of them.
Right, nice.
And then on the last one, the ex gets the both of them, and I
Right.
have a free day, a free
Okay.
week, which actually I thought would be great.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll go out and get some chicks and stuff, but really, I don't care about that much anymore.
Yeah, things change.
Yeah, it sure does.
So your perspective and the things that are important.
Right.
But now school.
Yes. Now, since with school,
I
so
know
I
this-
was back and forth every week. I mean, if it wasn't for, but I always wanted the transition to be smooth for my daughter. I never wanted her to resent going back and forth and this to be tough on her. So when I would either bring her back or sometimes even coming back to the LA area, I would leave early in the morning, and she was so used to it that she wouldn't even wake up in the vehicle. She'd wake up and she'd be on the beach in in California, or vice versa. If I had to take her to pre-K, we leave 3-4 in the morning. She wouldn't wake up, and she'd have a nice little spot in the back, and I've even kind of fabricated this little box where it was completely dark when we were traveling, so that she would sleep, and it would be an easy transition. So when she'd wake up, we'd have some time to get ready and acclimated for school, and then she would go to school a couple of days a week,
Right.
prior to full-time key.
Hassles from the ex in between.
I assume it wasn't a really friendly kind of divorce.
So
That's
going back and I'm kind of smoothing out the wrinkles, but we could get into the meat of it. It was never easy, and it was always a challenge. If it wasn't her fighting me through the courts regarding moving out of state, and her concern was, well, he can move out of state and never bring her back, or so she wanted all this stuff documented and was fighting tooth and nail for every bit of it. So it was never easy. But
was she really angry when you started talking about Vegas? If you had stayed in California, would it be a little easier?
Yeah, I don't know for her
better
if because of the maybe just I guess animosity with the split and how that goes. But I don't know if it would have been better if I stayed in Las Vegas or if it was the transition to LA. But it was hit and miss. I'd have good days and I'd have bad days with her, but I felt like I was always the one that was bending. So
you mentioned, that's why I brought up this title. We were talking one day when I saw you about,
right.
She calls me the Disneyland dad. Now,
Yes.
that's a derogatory statement in court.
It is, and I was not aware of this because I've never been through this. So when she said, "You're just a Disneyland dad," I thought that was a compliment. I'm like, well, thank you.
I've never heard that term, but I
No.
get
Yeah,
it now.
but
What
no,
you're saying,
well,
that
the first
we give
thing-
him all the money and take him to Disneyland?
Yes.
when
Well,
it's
that's what I thought.
But normally it's when you show up when it's good and you go and have
Right.
fun.
I've never heard
Oh,
that.
yeah,
but I
it's a kick in the
understand it,
nuts.
yeah.
So she says this is apparently a term that they use. I don't know if they use it in court,
Oh,
but
they
she
do.
said this is frowned upon in
Yes.
court. So when I said thank you, she's like, that's not a compliment.
I'm glad you guys said that. I've
Yes.
never heard
So
That's
it's
like
frowned-
when it's convenient for you. You come
Exactly.
around and then you're gone. And when
Yes,
you come
I
back
come
and you're
back.
Mr. Wonderful.
Right. So she's making the accusation that she takes on all the adult,
Right,
responsibilities, and that I'm
Well, if you're doing 50-50, you're having to be a
absolutely
full-on parent.
is just as much
Yeah.
as she is.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want it to change the way that she viewed the situation. I still wanted to have that, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for?
Rapport?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to fill that female role as well. So. I know we're doing the TV thing. We're not going to go any crazy places, but I created a Pinterest account, for little girls' hairs and fingernails, because I knew that was something that she loved to do, her manicure days and her hair days. So
That's
when I
okay.
would pick her up, I would let her go through my phone with on the Pinterest, and she. Each day got to pick out a hairstyle, and I would learn how to do it.
Oh, I wish I'd have
Now,
done
see,
that.
this is this guy. If you took, this
Right.
is this guy telling you this. Look, people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And same thing for the week. We would start our week off with her manicure and pedicure, and I would let her pick out her nails that she wanted, and if I didn't do them myself, which when she was younger, she wanted me to. I got her a little foot spa thing, and we had a whole pedicure day. But and I wanted to fill that void in her life, so that this transition was as smooth as it could be. So so that was something that I felt like I can.
I bet you loved the hell out of it too.
And for me, it was great.
Yeah.
And I don't. You can
Yeah.
you can judge me or whatever,
No,
but
judge-
I'm telling you, it was for me. It touched me, because it
Yeah.
was something that I wouldn't change.
And this was at how old were you doing this?
So
3?
she was 3, and then continued to do it up until current. And now that she'll like her spa days, we'll have to go to a.
How's she managing now? I mean, school. You're bouncing differently.
Yes. So just recently, I'd say about a little over a month, 6 weeks or so ago, she started kindergarten full time, and so I knew that in our decree, in our when we agreed to have her go to school full time in Nevada, in Las Vegas, that I would be the one that would be sacrificing. So it was every other week and only on weekends.
Right.
So, and that's been for the last 6 weeks. So I've a couple of times now that I've gone out there just for the weekend, and one weekend I stayed in Las Vegas, just got a hotel, and we did some stuff around, locally around Vegas, that, water park and stuff like that, the Disneyland dad stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it is the weekend.
It is the weekend, yes. So she's not obligated to
Homework
to go to
or-
school or anything. Yeah, and if she enjoys school. She enjoys school full time. She enjoys the homework aspect of it, and so we'll make up some stuff. We'll practice on stuff, and so these are things that I want a part of.
Do you talk to your ex?
I do. We originally, it was tough to have a civil conversation. So as we all know,
Everybody
right. But now there's been some changes, and before we started airing, I told you that there's been some changes for the better.
Yes.
And which makes things easier for myself. And her mother has now decided that it would be in everyone's best interest that she moved to California. So
The mother?
the mother, yeah, she has family out here, and this is something that I've pushed for since the beginning, since I made that transition from Vegas to LA, and so now it's all coming into effect,
for you.
and it's yeah.
When do you
It's
think you
looking
see that?
better,
Maybe
huh?
after kindergarten or
No,
during?
and this is, like I said, this is all been recent and sudden, but she's talking about November 1st.
That's a
which
quick
is
change.
extremely quick, and I'm all for it. So I said, what do I need to do? What can I do to help
Wow.
make this transition
Good for you.
smooth? And she's been extremely she's changed. She's her character has changed.
Does she have a career or
So in Vegas, she was in like the hotel industry, the tourist industry, I should say, and but she's always been really good and really, I guess maybe a gift. But she went to cosmetology school, and she was a hairdresser prior to that industry. So she's now applying that in LA.
so
And
you can get a job? Yeah, she can
yeah,
get. She can get one.
she went out this past weekend and got a job in as a barber, or not a barber, but a hairstylist in just outside of LA. So
So you're
these are good
coming
things.
coming
Yeah,
to
it
the good
looks-
things, but
that's great.
it really has,
That's
and as
great.
tough as it's been, it's all starting to come together.
It's so strange because in the beginning you just don't even know, how did this happen?
Right.
How do we do? What would I do?
and you can only go by instinct and what you know and what you're familiar with.
Well, and that was the time when we met each other, and that's what created this thing,
Right.
But it's
this monster.
in the
Yeah.
in the beginning,
Yeah.
she's, we had a good, we got along. We agreed, we did the deal exactly like yours, and
Yeah.
now same thing. We thought we were geniuses and did that ourselves,
Yeah.
but everything was going pretty good. Everything was good. Now there was this guy, and after 7 years, he got kicked out. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. My ex-wife can be a lovely person, really,
Yeah.
and someone that
Well,
I would
otherwise
want
we
to
all
help.
married
to
him,
the-
right?
right,
Okay,
exactly.
So
But I mean,
yeah.
even though the viciousness that is gone, I still sometimes, it's so funny because when I went to, we were at a baseball game with my son, and I hugged her and I told her, I said, I had this weird thing, and it's, you can laugh at me about this, never said this, but I had my mom on my bed when I woke up at 3 a.m, and there was my mom right there, and my mom was very, very, peaceful.
She's
whole
passed
thing.
away. You're saying
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, no, she came to come back.
Right, right.
And I know that sounds crazy. I've never done it, but
No,
but I wasn't drinking. I just was like, what? And she was mad at me. She was like, "You get your ass over to your
Wow.
the ex-wife, and you two get this crap together because those are your most important thing, and I want you and her to get her ass going. You go." And I said, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? It's like a movie. I'm like, what is it?
Right, yeah,
He goes,
looking
you
for
go
answers.
over there and you and I did. We went there. She had the new guy now, number 3. As we all know number 3.
It's a confusing story. You're going to have to keep up with the
No,
song.
I get it because
Yeah.
I can relate. I can relate.
And so I go to the game and I hugged her and I said, look, Mom just was on the bed today. She's right. We're acting like crap. Let's get it together, the whole thing.
Right.
But it was too late and then in that same game, I couldn't see my daughter for a week and another week, and I'm told, well, let her calm down over. Okay, I get it. And then we were at the game again, and I said, well, when am I going to get to see my daughter? It's like, well, I don't know. And they're walking away, and I said, well, what have I done? What have I done?
Yeah.
And I was told that they were already taking all kinds of things that I've been doing for the last few months to make a big diary kind of thing to go
Like that
to go after.
matters. I mean,
Right.
You've been through legal. He did this, she did
I
that.
think everything has been just kind of by the book.
Been accused by.
Absolutely, and vice versa. And I wasn't the person that was documenting everything. She absolutely was.
Yeah.
But and that's her ammunition. I mean, she has everything documented day to day.
Did anything
times,
stick?
Yeah.
And nothing.
But she's not using it though, right?
Right. Well, my ex did, and so
Well,
there
that's-
was a situation, and it was not for the custody part of it, but it was the child support. So every time, if I bought a new car, or if I'm living on the beach or something, she'll every 6 months or so she would ask for more money, more child support, and so with all these documentations,
Is she still
and-
single?
So she, when my daughter was about 3 years old, she got together with someone, and they ended up living together. And this is why I could say I could relate about a pattern of, these relationships that will last, and then there's the demise of the relationship, and
7
like,
years
okay,
each.
it's not just me. This is a pattern. So, So, and this is a big part of the reason why she's moving to California is because she had another child with this person, was with him for about 3 years, and now they're going through kind of a nasty breakup themselves, and so for her, the roles are kind of reversed.
Now he's going to go through
Wow.
hell.
He is going through some issues
never
where
even
he's
mentioned
fighting her going out
Do you
of
know him?
state. I do, and the only I don't like throwing somebody under the bus,
Right.
but I thought if my daughter likes him and he's been good to her,
Right.
she's never had anything negative to say about him. So
Right. What are you going to do?
what are you going to do? Right. It's like
Twins.
You
yeah,
are.
so
Twins.
There you
I
go.
had the same thing because I was so furious.
Right.
Because first of all, I don't know this guy.
Sure.
I know drummers. I know
Exactly.
drummers.
Yeah.
Stuff is
you-
going to happen.
Absolutely.
Because you can't tell her who to date, just like I can't. She can't. But
No,
but
right.
but you only can
Absolutely not.
hope, because you got somebody that at least, because it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But your daughter, how's she doing on the balance? She a mommy's girl, a daddy's girl, 50-50?
I
You have two children?
One.
Oh, yeah.
yes, and I hate to sound biased, but if we're meeting for like a switch over, and if she was just so happened to be in California at the time, we're going to switch somewhere like in San Bernardino or something. We eat breakfast together, and
Okay.
she wants to be on Daddy's side. So she wants to. She's like, I want Daddy to unbuckle me. I want Daddy to pick me up. I want to hold Daddy's hand.
See it-
So
Well, you
My
know
daughter
what?
didn't give a shit.
appreciate
It's
it.
mommy or daddy. But I mean, which were
Now,
good is good.
Yes, I mean we'll see. When
Well, I
she's
hope you
in high
can come
school.
back because when Peter said, he goes, you guys are just the same exactly.
Yeah,
Yours is a little bit better. I'd change.
It sounds
Here's the difference between Chris and us. Chris still has it going on, and we are like
the
still
later
drowning.
stages.
He's got the hot girlfriend. He's got
I count my lucky stars.
yeah.
every day.
He's still got to be, because we left careers that for some reason couldn't
That was
transition,
stupid.
Right.
and you managed to stay in your career and transition.
Yeah, it was a tough decision, but it's,
You did the right thing.
I feel like I did, and it seems to be panning out. So,
But the magnet that drew me to him was because, again, to hear him, and when I forgot about the nails and stuff like that, and it's like and I remember to paint my daughter's first time, I couldn't paint him worth a shit, and I got better at it though, but I love doing it.
Absolutely.
And I saw the love in this guy, but when I first saw him, I go, holy crap! It's like he just broke out of prison.
Yeah.
and You know, because
Yeah.
the beard, you know what I mean? But you're friggin' built, and how you have the discipline.
You gotta answer that a lot.
But I mean, because that's what fascinated me about him. I go, I got to hear this guy.
How do I find the time?
Because you're deeper, and you know, and there's a lot more to you. And again, this show is not about dads getting burned. It's about
Right.
parents who give a shit about their kids.
Absolutely.
Period.
That's-
End of story, people.
You're right.
You know, there's good moms, good dads, and bad dads.
True.
We're about the good ones who struggle. And your head. How about your head? Because we got to go in a minute.
Yeah.
But how did you mentally get through all this? Because we drink.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I
We do?
That sounds
I
like a
do.
great idea.
You know? I'm done.
You know, I always I try to stay positive, and I come from
With the jokes.
right, yeah, but maybe the discipline of growing up through the amateurs in boxing and then going as a professional. You know, I always had this discipline, and I felt like I could carry that into my personal life, and so I think it's helped a lot, and to always stay positive, and as rough as things get, I try to be the one to kind of bring light to the situation, or be the one that bends to make everything work. So
Yeah.
See, because I talk
right.
about
It's
positive,
tough.
but I talk about the crap, and everybody
Yeah.
goes, "Oh man, you're bumming me out." It's like I'm just being real,
Right.
But I'm not giving up.
no, absolutely.
You know, we're
not.
pushing through this damn thing. We have
We
hell
wouldn't
with
be
this
here
stuff.
otherwise.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, I must say one thing, and for
Oh
the
boy,
end
here
of it.
comes the joke. Get ready, people.
You guys, your daughter's 5, yeah?
Yes.
And yours is
10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. When things get a little higher, when
I
you get
know.
to the 12 and the
La, la, la,
13,
can't
I'm
hear
in
you.
the
I can-
early stages.
but
I'll be getting
still.
a lot of calls from you guys.
Yes.
It's like,
You'll
why
see me
is she
again a
doing
couple of
this?
years from now.
But real quick, did you get to the point where you broke out in rages, where you could really see, the part of you never? Did she change you at all through all this?
You know, I felt like at the time that she really could bring out the worst in a person. And but I didn't want to show that. So it was every day it was a struggle. And if I was to that point, I'd go in the gym and start hitting some bags or go lift some weights or something. Maybe that's why I stay in the gym all the time, because I got to blow some testosterone
We're
somehow.
going to
Yeah.
start exploring that, because again, I just don't have it in me. I'm too worn out from working so much
Sure.
and all that crap. And then we try to do this show on top of it. But I got to say, you're an extraordinary human being. I'm really glad that you came on this show. I knew that Jim was going to get something. I don't really
happy to
tell
be
Jim a
about
lot when I bring in certain people.
Yeah.
I like him to experience it, because I like his spontaneity.
No,
more.
that's the reaction to.
But you're a
kinda
Well, it's
stand-up
good-
man.
it's get information and love from everybody, because
Yeah.
that's what we need, and we can't
Yeah.
create it.
And
you know?
people need to see this, that it's, which all walks of life. We're bringing, and again, we didn't do too many average, normal people on
Right.
our film end of it, but I bring
don't
in
have
one
any.
every once in a while. We just do the
Yeah.
audio, we just do
Sure.
the podcasting, but now more and more so, because they need to see what's out there, and that
Yeah,
it's not just
real
them.
life.
Well,
Yeah.
it does. It helps.
So-
it really does. I'm so glad you came by, man.
I'm
You
so happy to be a part of this.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
have
know
maybe
that.
we can have you back sometime and see
I'd
how
love
things
it.
are going, because the transition will be moving, and we'll
Yes,
check in with you.
there's a part 2.
Part 22,
Right,
part 32,
Hopefully it
never
keeps
ending.
going. Yeah.
Chris
It never
Brown,
does.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for coming in.
Thank you.
God bless you on your endeavors with. I know you got a new thing going on.
I do,
and,
yes.
and I'm really excited for you.
Fantastic. Maybe next time we'll explore more of that.
Yeah. It wasn't easy getting this all together for him to. But he was really, really flexible and saying, "Listen, you tell me when, I'll make it happen." And I appreciate that, and we
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. I'm happy to be a part.
Look at that. All right. Oh, I'll shake
Yeah.
your hands after.
Perfect.
Okay. We want to thank all you people for tuning in to the Jim and Peter show, because you're the ones who we really get up in the mornings and keep us going, because I think it really has given us a reason, and I think and thank
I'm
God
just
for that
happy
more
to
and more.
find out that you drink.
Yeah,
That's
you know what?
good.
And it bugs
you
me a
go.
little too, because it's like I don't drink a lot. But I just feel the need to just take the edge off, and I don't like that, because you know what I mean. I don't. I mean, I don't mind with friends, but lately it's bugging me. It really is. There's just a lot going on, too much, and my head doesn't rest. I'm one of those people, I just can't roll off, and well, it'll get there.
Yeah, well,
I need help.
Come to the
you're
gym.
doing fine.
All right. Anyway, so we're going to wrap it up, and we thank everybody for tuning in and paying attention, because we love you guys, and we couldn't do it without you. And you, Yeah.
Wait a minute. How did you?
You're watching the Jim and Peter show. We love
I
you.
got jacked right there.
No, I
sure.
actually couldn't think of anything to say.
I should beat you instead.
Anything you got before we leave? Because otherwise we got to go.
No, it was a great day, and
All right.
thanks again.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. And we're Bronco fans too.
And you're Bronco fan. You guys can go hug in the hallways. I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely.
All right. Peace out. We love you. See you later.
Peter G. Show.